Root. Just wanted to, I pull a whole bunch of cards here, so I just want to go through some of the main energies out here. So first out is the Six of Cups, as well as Three of Swords. There's definitely a little bit of hurt here, but some very positive cards toward the end. Ten of Pentacles, main card out. High Priestess, main card out. Clarifier is the shadow side, and run out of room. So I asked just what your overall energy was and how you were feeling, and that would be the Two of Swords for the month of December, or sorry, November to about the first week of December, or December 1st, somewhere in there. Some of you, it's going to resonate a little further out. And then there were three cards that kind of randomly fell out here as well, which is the Sun card, very positive card, optimistic card, as well as the Lover's card, as well as the Six of Swords. It looks like some significant relationship to you. You're moving into calmer waters. You're moving into a place where there is a happier spot that you can look forward to. You are moving into calmer waters with the Six of Swords energy, and definitely because the Sun card was the first one that popped out here, this is a reason for you to be very optimistic. There is hope for your future here. But getting back into sort of where things are at, for the month of, again, November to December, the energy that's around you is that you are going into a place where there is some level of higher knowledge. You're learning more about something that's going to maybe even connect you to family, something that, because you're working through the shadow side here. You're working through some darker areas of yourself with that energy. This is you trying to, it's like the equivalent really of the devil energy is trying to work through all the things that are obstacles. These are energies around, insecurities, toxic behaviors, any kind of overly negative, heavy energy that is preventing you from going forward. The High Priestess energy with the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel of the Year rather, this is not in around money exactly, even though I am seeing money as well. It was the first thing that kind of drew my eyes. So I feel like this is where things are headed. But initially, because it's tied to the High Priest card, it is more of an indicator that I feel you're getting deeper knowledge from. You're going somewhere where you're going to have a deeper, it's more of a, the High Priest is a card of tradition, roles, and certainly energy around institutions. So I feel like you're going into a place where there is going to be more of an institutional feel, but I feel like it is time for this change. It feels like things are moving in the realm of where you're going to get your head clear, where you're going to be able to somehow deal with a particular issue that you have that's been weighing very heavy on you with that shadow side. The Queen of Pentacles is drawing on resources, and certainly there's concern around resources, that kind of thing. But I feel that's something that is, it's not really the present issue that seems to be at hand. There seems to be some real conflicts around people from the past, or family situations, or other young friends, or, people from your past. Because of this nostalgic energy, you're rethinking about things that you're thinking a lot about heartbreak and the things that caused you conflict. You are very much protected in this month, but again, the energy surrounding you is just one of kind of a like a malaise. It's sort of I just feel like there's a sense of like I said, there's nostalgia. You're looking back on things, but it's because there's a lot of heartbreak around the past. There's a lot of heartbreak around, people that you were very connected to. Could be children. It could be something, with the nostalgic energy of the Six of Cups. It's just reflective. So, but again, there's a lot of energy around conflict with that. Five of Swords, there's changes there that are taking place. And again, with the Three of Swords, this is a lot of heartbreak that you're still dealing with, but you are working through it. You're in a healing space. You're trying to find balance. But current energies, of course, are that you're reflecting and that you're still in this place of hardship, heartbreak. Again, there could be something that you're dealing with in terms of a heart, but again, very much protected. And there is family protection as well with that connection. And it's very strong family connection. The Five of Cups is also going through a lot of emotional changes, and again, a lot of changes in regards to your mindset overall, as well as your emotional state. I do feel like you are trying to figure out yourself here with that high priestess or high priest energy and that wheel of the year, but I feel like you're dealing with an institution that's going to help you to do that. The Two of Swords energy, again, I feel like you're very detached emotionally, and I feel like that's where you need to reconnect. I feel like and there is hope that's coming through here because you're going into a place of healing. You're going into a place where you are going to be able to kind of free yourself up and be a little more optimistic about the future with that Six of Swords, because you do have a lot of cards that are, even though I'm seeing a lot of detachment, there's still a lot of really strong balanced cards here. The high priest, sorry, is still a card of really again, institutions like the Hierophant. So it's really a place where you're actually going, what's the word I'm looking for here, dealing with the rules, doing things the right way. You're not acting out, you're just trying to follow a particular pattern to be able to resolve a particular issue, is what I would say there. It's very formalized, but it's time for this change. Again, with that wheel, it just feels like there's heavy changes and end cycles that are going on here. The card of where can I start here? Just again, in going back to the Hierophant here, because I think that's the one that's really predominant here. Again, whatever this institution is for you, this corporate structure, it feels like there's a rapid change that's about to impact you on a very large scale. So again, this is sort of associated with Jupiter as well with that card. But it definitely feels as though there's going to be a dramatic change in your life that is to do with this organization. So again, this is also about following family values, family traditions. Those kinds of things are important to you. And wherever there was a clash or a belief system or something here in the past, I feel like that's going to change because there is more established, strong energy here that is influencing you, where you're getting guidance. And again, this could be church for some of you. This could be an organization, whatever this traditional, big organization or corporation energy is. It's definitely something that's very structured. It's a place also as well where there's long-term commitment and again, with that wheel of the year, it feels like this is the beginning of that commitment. So it's a really supportive energy is what I'm getting there, but I still feel like you are very detached emotionally. With the Two of Swords out there with the shadow side, your energy is still very hurt. And it just feels like you just need to incorporate some of that structure into your day to day to be able to kind of get through whatever it is that you're dealing with. I do feel like that support from that structure is also part of your maybe spiritual work or the community that you are identifying with, so that you can sort of find a connection possibly here as well. This could represent a marriage, but I don't see a lot of that. I don't see cards. Usually I would see it. Well, the Lover's card is down here and they did fall out together, but because it's coupled with the Six of Swords, I don't feel like that's a relationship here. I feel like this is a relationship more along the commitment to your own self-knowledge, because of it's right beside the shadow card and again the wheel of the year. So I feel like you're really establishing some traditional tools that you can use to move yourself ahead as well. It's just stable, down to earth sort of strategies is what I would say. So if you are getting some kind of counseling or some kind of help, and even on a financial basis, because there is definitely some energy that sort of stood out for me there with the wheel of the year, the pentacle stood out for me there. It still feels like there is going to be some kind of things are moving in a really positive upswing way. So if it is in terms of a health situation here, I would say that this is dealing with, traditional therapies. If it is a hospital situation or something for some of you that's dealing with a heart issue, a lot of protection around you here. So I don't feel like there's anything that's going wrong here. I just feel like you have mental concerns that you're trying to work through. I would say that the traditional methods here are, going in for CAT scans or MRIs or blood work, medical tests, things along that line if we're dealing with things on a health basis. But whatever it is, it's still systems that you're following here. And I just feel like you're connecting to, like I said, levels of higher knowledge, and you're dealing with things from a very traditional ritualized kind of place. So anyway, still a lot of energy there that's very structured that you're needing to rely on for support in this month, or at least in this last couple of weeks here. The energy around, again, the Two of Swords is sort of one of being blocked. Emotionally, that was the card that I asked sort of what your overall feelings were for this month. And again, it just overall is still speaking to you feeling a little more detached, a little more cut off. And again, with that energy of the Five of Swords over here, I mean, that still speaks to the same. I mean, the Five of Swords is nobody won. Nobody won in whatever this heartbreak was. It just really kind of continued on as a standstill kind of situation. So it's an empty victory, as they say. So nobody is really, I feel like you don't feel like you have support, from those from your past, or maybe it's a family thing that you don't feel you have support, but you do because there's so many connections to structure and you believing in the system. So I do feel like there is still something to hang on to there, but you're just not seeing it. So Five of Swords, again, empty victory, but I also feel that you were trying to deal with circumstances in a way of breaking away by conflict or words, or other people were involving you in the same way, whatever that is for you, whatever that struggle looks like for you. It just feels like there wasn't a lot of compassion, and I feel like you felt attacked, or there's been some feeling of like I said, like you've been on your own. And I feel like you feel that you've lost more here than you've gained, even though there are cards of gain. The Ten of Pentacles tells me that you do still have a very strong support network. You may not feel that it is something that you can, sorry, throat always goes weird here. But the tens are all about that transition. It's renewing a cycle, and it's definitely about preparing for a new beginning here in regards to, family and values and things that are really quite already integrated into our society. There's a belief system there that you can still rely on. I do feel like, again, you're getting support from different areas maybe that you hadn't already maybe tapped into with that high priest energy, but the Ten of Pentacles is still around a lot of family structures, and, whether it's a healthy relationship or not that you have to these situations, it is still support there. So again, I do feel that you have, relatively stable situation going on, despite all the heartbreak and the conflict and the emptiness and the battles that you're sort of dealing with emotionally. I still feel like you've got a lot of job security, or a lot of family security, or a lot of relationship security. And I don't mean necessarily, it doesn't have to be in terms of a lover's relationship, but strong connections to people that are significant to you. So there's still a lot of empowerment there. There's still a lot of strength in those situations for you to fall back on. And I do feel, again, like I said, even though you're still battling with the shadow side, wherever it is you're headed off to, it is still a direction. Again, with the Wheel of Fortune is still Wheel of the Year. It still feels like end cycles on lots of levels. You've got 10 of Pentacles, you've got Wheel of the Year, and you're doing this in a really wise move. Your movement is wise. You're actually falling into places where you actually have some reliability and consistency. And so because of that, I just feel like you're going to arrive at your next stage in the game, in a really, how do I say, in a place where you actually can build a solid foundation to build from, because you're making some wise moves here, and you're doing it from a very supported position. So again, the World card is really about, it can be a card of victory and so on as well, but it's a conclusive energy. But next to the High Priest, I feel like you are successfully moving into some kind of structured environment that's going to help you to work through whatever the shadow side is, and the Two of Swords. And again, this is not everybody's story, but for whoever this is that it relates to, this might involve some travel here as well. it can be international, or it can be just it's travel. But again, it's still in around wherever this structured place is, again, could be going to a hospital or something like that. It could be going into a situation of corporate sort of energy, but it's still moving in the direction of growing and teaching is what I would say here for the next couple of weeks. But again, you're feeling a little bit detached. I don't feel like you are really connected to the process just yet. You haven't opened up to it. I feel like this is just something that you're moving in the direction of right now. But in terms of your health, I feel like, again, there's a lot of harmony and balance that's coming through here. And I feel like you are reaching your higher self. You are finding strength in these structures, in these values, in these strong places of tradition to be able to guide you through. And that is beneficial for you this month. So that's what I have for you, Cancer, for the next little bit, next couple of weeks, right up until December. Again, could be the first, right into the first week, but I just kind of just a range of to December 1st, roughly, from November 20th or 21st on onward. But if you are, like I said, whatever it is that you're doing here, again, some of you, this is going to move a little further out. Sorry, I'm a little tongue tied. It's getting a little late. But it is going to be moving a little further out for some of you into December. You're not all making decisions in the same way, same day, that kind of thing. But again, it's general reading, but I do feel like there's a lot of energy being worked through, and you are relying on a lot of structures and safe foundations to be able to move ahead. And I think that you just need to relax a little is kind of what I want to say here, is relax a little, because you've got a lot of optimistic cards and you are moving into calmer waters. Again, you're still processing through some stuff, but you've just got some really strong cards. You're detached, you're hurt, but I definitely feel like you have a place of, there is some connections here. Whether you feel connected to them, there is definitely some connections here that are in your corner, and you definitely have protection with the Temperance card. And that's all about balance as well. So, and it's a healing card. So the Temperance is definitely in your favor this month. And like I said, I just feel overall, this is the beginning of a new journey for you. I feel like you are about to move into a place of harmony that you probably haven't felt for a while. And it is going to take your focus, but I think it's going to bring you a lot of peace, whatever this direction is. And I feel like there's, possibly some compromise on your part as well, but it's about looking at things from a new perspective, because you're surrendering to something here. With the Temperance card, it's a card of surrender, and it is a card of tolerance, and it's a card of, tranquility and balance, but it's having compassion for yourself here as well. Because again, around the Five of Cups and that Ten of Pentacles, I feel like you are just seeing the letdown in things, but in actual fact, there's so many cards here that are, that you're just not opening your eyes to see the things that are around you, because they're just strong cards. The High Priest and the Ten of Pentacles, these are the strongest cards coming out. And I just feel like it's something that you might be overlooking here. Five of Cups, again, you're feeling cut off, your feelings are hurt. And again, feeling detached with the Two of Swords. But overall, whatever this disappointment is, it's gone. Whatever that sorrow is, it's something you're moving past. And it's something that's resolving in it's starting to resolve. It's probably a longer journey further out here, but I just feel like you're moving past these grievances, and whatever that energy was that caused your, psychological stressors and this kind of thing, I just feel like that's going to be less of a setback and more of the energy of a Six of Cups, something that's moving into the past energy here. So, again, this is you concentrating on what you've got left and not what you've lost. You still have a lot of strong energy here. Again, with a High Priest, you're moving into some really good energy. This is strong wisdom. This is deep wisdom that you're headed toward. Anyway, that's what I have for you, Cancer, for the month of November 20th. Like I say, roughly to December 1st. Some of you, it's going to range a little further out. But anyway, that's what I'm doing on a tired read. Sorry, my tired eyes. And so hopefully that gives you a little insight for this period. And keep moving forward, never give up.